Alright, hello Astrobro subscribers, and welcome back to another video about Western and Vedic astrology. Astrology being the science or art, depending on how you look at it, or maybe somewhere in between, of using the positions of the planets and the cosmological bodies in the sky, in the night sky, in order to draw correspondences and parallels to human behavior. And on this channel, I've talked about sun signs, I've talked about regular signs, the zodiac signs, independent of what planet's in them. I've talked about ascendants, which kind of set the stage, the conceptual stage for where your planets are placed in relation to the horizon when you were born. I've talked about nakshatras a bit, how to use the moon and where it is in relationship to the sun to draw conclusions and insights about human behavior. And I've talked about hours a little bit, and all of these things have something in common in that they are not particularly unique. They have two things in common, I suppose. One of those things is that they're not particularly unique or original to me. Like, all of this stuff is far older than this body. It is thousands and thousands of years old, if not tens of thousands of years old. But at least in the most conservative estimate, it's 6,000 years old, going back to Sumeria. And in many ways, this information, while universal and cosmic and unchanging, has to adapt to new circumstances in the world. And one of those new circumstances is the frame problem. Now, the frame problem is a philosophical problem that, how do I explain this simply? Basically, it contrasts the materialist model of reality, which is that you have a physical entity that is self-evident, and the frame problem basically says that that physical entity changes across time and depending on your subjective perspective of that thing. And one of the things that strikes me about astrology is that it has a lot of different layers of perception. So for instance, you can look at an astrological chart through the hour system, you can look at the signs, you can look at the houses, you can look at the days of the week, you can look at nakshatras, and you can look at many more angles of a chart that I have not gone into yet on this channel, but intend to. However, what it doesn't really say is what or when to use the specific perspective frames that you can analyze a chart through. So for instance, what type of problem would be best served by looking at the signs? What type of problem would be best served by looking at the hours? And what type of problem, for instance, would be best served by looking at the houses or nakshatras? So I took it upon myself to answer this problem a couple years ago, and I haven't gone public with the information because it's new and it's complicated. But in the coming series, I'm going to try my best to explain how I came to the answer of that question, of the frame problem question in astrology. When to use what perspective, when to look at the world through what lens. Sorry, it's kind of foggy out here. And I'm going to be sharing that with you guys. So, yeah, the next videos I post are going to be on what I call the layer system. And the layer system is a sequence of lenses that you can look at the chart through, a series of perspectives, levels of analysis that you can look at a star chart through that are contextualized and ranked based on the amount of time and space they cover. And what I mean by that will become more and more apparent, I hope, as I continue this series. But I just wanted to let you know that this is what I'm doing right now, is attempting to answer the frame problem in astrology. What layer do you look at the chart at? What level of analysis do you use, and when? And what is the function of looking at the chart through the elements, through the signs, through the houses, through the hours, through the nakshatras, through many more concepts. And I hope to help you guys to understand where I'm coming from with that. So that's what's coming. Till then.